And gentlemen, I know this video is a little late. I know that it is about 4 p.m. here, but I wanted to go through. I wanted to wait as long as possible so we could get as many updates as possible. I mean, we have a different quarterback in Denver that we need to talk about. We need to talk about the impact of Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. So probably a good thing we waited so long. But before we get into it, make sure you go down there, drop a like on this live stream. You're probably watching it as a video later on. Subscribe to the channel as well if you want to be able to come out to our live streams, which we do every single day. Make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button. I'll be answering questions tonight in the live stream, as well as tomorrow morning for everybody subscribed that has that bell hit. And if you want to check out any of these player props for tomorrow, you can do it on Underdog Fantasy. My opinion, the best place to go and look at all those player props. I mean, they have so freaking many. And if you're already on Underdog Fantasy, I have to let you know that if you go ahead, if you hop into an Underdog draft this week, or maybe you sign up for Underdog today, regardless, if you hop into an Underdog Battle Royale draft, this is the $125,000 buy-in league, prize pool league that they have every single weekend. I believe it's like a $10, $15 buy-in, obviously a large field tournament draft. If you go get in that this week, next week, you have a 100x boosted pick'em. You got to take advantage, even if you're not that excited to hop into a draft this week. Come on, do it to get the pick'em next. And if you want to go through and check out any of those player props, you can find the link in the comment section, find the link in the description. When you sign up to Underdog with promo code FLOCK, they are going to immediately match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. So regardless if you want to hop in a fantasy draft, if you want to check out these player props, essentially free for you to check out. But that should be it. Let's go through. Let's not look at those props anymore. And instead, let's start to get to some of these injuries. So y'all know, I mean, we've had to say over the past 2 weeks now that yes, Rhamondre Stevenson is a locked and loaded. Rhamondre Stevenson is a top 10 running back every single week that you do not have Damian Harris. However, we've had him as that sell IRB because if you just monitor the practice reports, last week, Damian Harris was at practice. Now Damian Harris coming back in. So please trust me, guys. I know that some people want to hate us for this. Y'all know I was the guy betting on Rhamondre over Damian Harris coming into the season because Rhamondre is the player that can actually catch the ball. However, do not think Rhamondre Stevenson's still a running back one. Damian Harris, even though I'm not a big fan of him, this is a running back that's still probably going to be in a 50-50 backfield split, even if Damian Harris is only getting 40% of the backfield. Rhamondre Stevenson, no longer a top 10 running back. Rhamondre goes back to being probably this week in particular in a great matchup against Chicago, a mid to low end running back too. And also in New England, we're going to have to continue to monitor Mac Jones. Obviously, you're not playing Mac Jones, given the fact that A, we don't know if he is going to be healthy. B, hell, he plays on Monday night, so we're not going to have the clarity before you have to make that decision in your starting lineup. So I think what we would look to do is just get a little more excited about Jacoby Myers. I know Bailey Zappi has been fine, but hell, I'd rather have Mac Jones back there. Going over to our next update, we got Randall Cobb being placed on the IR. Not too much of a surprise after being carted off in week 6, but we have Sammy Watkins coming off the IR after only 4 weeks. I mean, it does make a lot of sense that Watkins is coming up because at the same time, Christian Watson's probably going to be missing. So y'all know we've talked about Allen Lazard being a big time riser, even if I was not a fan of Allen Lazard coming into this season. Now, when you have no Randall Cobb, when you have no Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins may play this week. However, Sammy Watkins is probably going to be on a snap count, probably going to be a little bit limited here. I think Allen Lazard is significantly more appealing than he was coming into the season, as well as Romeo Doubs. Now, going over to our next situation, we have Washington. We'll get to a lot of the pass catchers for Washington at the end of the video. But right now, for the quarterback, I mean, Carson Wentz going on the IR, and they're not starting Sam Howell. They're just going to run out there Taylor Heineke. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, okay, well, with Heineke, can we go back to Terry McLaurin? Can we go back to Curtis? Probably not, but we will get to the receivers at the end of this. Going over to our next guy, Odell Beckham Jr. I haven't wanted to hype up Odell just given the fact that, hell, I mean, he had that injury back in February. We always look at that as a 9-month recovery process. We've said it about Godwin. We said it about all these guys. 9 months. We just get out a little calculator here. 9 months from February was supposed to be mid-November return. However, it looks like it's getting pushed back to mid-December. I think Odell maybe is just like, okay, well, what I can look to do is I can look to relax, make sure I'm 100% healthy, and then look at, is Patrick Mahomes healthy in Kansas City? Do we want to go there? Or, is Patrick Mahomes hurt? Did he get into high ankle sprain? And instead, we got to go to Buffalo. I think Odell has no rush to come back to football. Please don't have him on your roster, because the thing is, you're not able to put him on the IR until he's actually on a team. But now going over to our next situation, Tyler Lockett obviously hasn't been practicing, but it sounds like he is going to play. Personally, I think it would be scary to plan on going with Tyler Lockett in your starting lineup unless you have a viable backup to go with. Because with Tyler Lockett, he plays against Los Angeles. This game's on the West Coast. So, for whatever reason, the West Coast is a horrible time zone where we have to wait until so late in the day till we actually get confirmation on these games. So unless you can pivot over to like Brandon Ayuk as a backup case, don't start Tyler Lockett. I don't want to start Lockett and then have to go, oh, crap. Do we have to throw Noah Fant in our flex spot because he didn't play? And obviously bump up Metcalf if you have no Lockett. Now, Jonathan Taylor will be playing week 7. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. If you can trade for Jonathan Taylor with a 10% discount, you do it. If you can add Jonathan Taylor to your team, even if the discount is this small, just like we said about a month ago when people were worried about Jefferson, just like we said with Jamar Chase for 2-3 weeks up until this past week, of course. Now people realize, oh yeah, Jamar Chase is pretty damn good. When you have these stud level players that slow down for a bit, that people panic on for no apparent reason, and you can get that 10% discount, go take advantage of it. Go get them. If you have Jonathan Taylor and you're coming out to a live stream tonight or tomorrow morning and you're going to ask me, Mason, should I play Jonathan Taylor or should I play Kareem Hunt? Should I play Jonathan Taylor or should I play Aaron Jones? Please, for the love of God, don't ask me if you should start Jonathan Taylor. You better have him in your lineup. Now, our next one, Melvin Gordon. Sounds like Melvin Gordon completely off the injury report now. Sounds like he will be the starting running back for Denver. We'll get to Russ near the end of the video. We'll get to the situation here in Denver. I would not be too optimistic about starting Melvin Gordon. However, just given the fact that this is a running back that should be playing in a very bad offense, going up against the defense that just limited Aaron Jones to about 19 rushing yards. And while, yes, Melvin Gordon's probably the starter, as we said when we were looking to go through and sell these players or avoid them in general, at the end of the day, he may be the starter, but it's going to be a 3-man running back by committee and a piss-poor offense. Just like Brian Robinson, I don't want a running back in a 3-man running back by committee in a piss-poor offense. Going over to Las Vegas, Darren Waller going to be out. A little frustrating here. Matt Collins as well may not necessarily be 100% viable. Now, it looks like he is going to play. I do think we need to monitor this because Hunter Renfrow is also dealing with his own injury. And I think that if you were to have, say, no Darren Waller, no Hunter Renfrow, then at that point, Mac Hollins is maybe someone we can actually go out there and pick up. Y'all know we said after you had the massive spike week not to bother picking him up off the waiver wire because, hell, you were going to have Darren Waller playing. And I thought the targets weren't going to be consistent. However, if both Renfrow and Waller were to miss, I think Mac Hollins becomes appealing. And if both Mac Hollins and Darren Waller were to miss, then all of a sudden Hunter Renfrow becomes appealing if he were to play. Now, Isaiah Spiller going to be active here. Now, I don't necessarily want to run out there and add Isaiah Spiller on any of our rosters. Spiller, not an athletic running back. Y'all know we just crapped all over him at the time of the NFL draft when a lot of people were super hyped. We were like, okay, look at the historical process that we have. Let's look at running backs that are this small and this slow. None of them are ever anything in the NFL. Your ceiling is essentially going out there and being someone like Sony. Not a big Isaiah Spiller guy, but hell, he can't catch the ball. And if you were to go out there this week and earn that number 2 running back role above Joshua Kelly, who's out, as well as Sony Michel, who's just been bad, I think Spiller may be a little bit appealing at that point. But now Joshua Palmer going to be out entirely against Seattle. So you would think, okay, well, you have no Joshua Palmer. You have no Donald Parham. Fire up Keenan Allen, and the coaching staff earlier this week made it sound like Allen would be playing, but of course he's not. Of course, Keenan Allen is not guaranteed to play. Very similar to what we were just discussing in Seattle. These West Coast games, pain in the ass because you don't know if the guy's going to play or not when you have to actually submit your starting lineup. I would be worried about Keenan knowing that they're saying, oh, well, we can wait till he comes back from the bye, especially if they're going up against Seattle this week where the Chargers are heavy favorites. In my opinion, would be smart to just hold out Keenan Allen until after the bye when you have Super Bowl aspirations. But Gerald Everett, someone that we've been saying to sell high on pretty much all season in preparation of Keenan coming back, as well as Donald Parham. If Parham and Keenan and Joshua Palmer are all going to be out, I think Gerald Everett is a viable play. But really quick, we are 1 like away from hitting 100 likes on the live stream. Please go down there, drop a like in the stream if you haven't. Now going over to our next situation, Dalton Schultz looks like he is 100% good to go against the Detroit Lions. This is a phenomenal matchup. You have Dak Prescott also 100% good to go. I think you could go through, you could start Dalton Schultz if you were wanting. I think you could, you have to start Dak Prescott. If you have Dak Prescott in a great matchup against the Detroit Lions, where if you look at Las Vegas sportsbooks right now, they have the Dallas Cowboys as the second highest scoring offense this week. Dak is someone that has to be in your lineup. Now going over to our next offense in the same matchup, we have DeAndre Swift looking like he's not guaranteed to go. So I will say Jamal Williams, a must-start running back if DeAndre Swift were to miss. But if DeAndre Swift plays and you're playing in a full PPR format in particular, I think at that point you would have to go through and play DeAndre Swift, even if it's going to be a little bit frustrating if you have that expanded role for Jamal. But now our next one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 100% good to go. Please play him. Do not hesitate. Top 10 wide receiver, even in a tough matchup. Josh Reynolds, questionable. DJ Chark out as well. So y'all know we had TJ Hawkinson, his player prop. Let me see if I can find this on Underdog for y'all real quick. As I find this on Underdog, make sure y'all go sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Link in the comment section. When you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. Yeah, so we ended up taking as one of our player props this week the under on TJ Hawkinson at 40 receiving yards. Now, this is my fault. Of course, I can't go through and I can't reverse this call if DeAndre Swift were to be out. But maybe instead of following us and taking that TJ Hawkinson less than 49 receiving yards right now, you wait and get some clarity on the DeAndre Swift situation, because it may be a little bit more difficult of a spot if Chark were to miss and you had Swift were to miss and DJ Chark were to miss as well. But now, J.K. Dobbins, obviously everybody saw this. I think Gus Edwards should be playing. If Gus Edwards plays, you can't play anybody in this backfield. But if Justice Hill as well as Gus Edwards were both to miss, then at that point, Kenyon Drake would be a must-start running back. But if it is both Drake and Gus Edwards that are healthy, they're both worth roster spots to see what happens in what should be one of the best rushing offenses in the NFL. You can't start either guy this week, though, until we have that clarity. Now, Kadarius Toney not going to play. A big surprise. Kenny Golladay not playing as well. Big freaking surprise. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be appealing here with both these guys missing. Don't start Wan'Dale, but make sure he's on your roster. The issue with Wan'Dale Robinson in starting him is the fact that, hell, he only played 15 snaps this past week. Even if the targets were there, we need to see some more usage. Now, John Dotson, not necessarily guaranteed to play. I thought he was going to, but he left Thursday's practice early. Logan Thomas ruled out. Diami Brown ruled out. So you'd imagine, okay, well, we may now have John Dotson, no Logan Thomas, no Diami Brown. Last week, I thought it was a fine spot to play Terry McLaurin and Curtis. Oh, dear God, horrendous. In Washington, going back to what you had with Taylor Heineke, I know some people think this will be better than Carson Wentz. You're going from a bad quarterback to a bad quarterback. I want nothing to do with Washington in this matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Terry McLaurin can be a borderline flex play given how many other pass catchers are out in this offense, but you can't be excited about it. Now, CMC looks like he is going to be playing against the Chiefs, and I know we have a lot of people saying, okay, well, what can we expect from Christian McCaffrey? Is he viable to put in our starting lineup right now? Full transparency, I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect from CMC. I have no idea if he is going to be someone that has a very large workload where you can be excited to play him right away. However, what I would say is, how freaking boring, how lame would you have to be to have Christian McCaffrey on your roster and go, well, Melvin Gordon looks like he was going to project to have more volume this week. I'm not certain about the snaps that seem. Don't be lame. Have some fun. Go for the ceiling. I don't care if CMC is probably going to be limited. Have some fun in your life. Put Christian McCaffrey in your starting lineup. Now, Russell Wilson out against the Jets. I saw someone that was really smart tweet this out. I don't remember what account this came from. Let me pull up his Twitter at. Was very insightful, was very intelligent in general. Twitter at, if y'all want to follow him, Mason Dodd FFN, something along those lines. I mean, devilishly, beautiful, beautiful profile pic. So damn handsome. But anyway, he tweeted out Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton may be interesting with the quarterback upgrade this week. In reality, that is just a joke. For the love of God, do not think you can start either Courtland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. I mean, this is going to be a horrendous Denver Broncos offense that I want nothing to do with. Now, I think that should be it. We're right back to the Damien Harris one. So that's all I got for you. Of course, if you want to go check out any of these player props on Underdog Fantasy for tomorrow, find the link in the description, find it in the comment section, find it in the live chat. When you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they're going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. And on top of this, if you go get in one of their Battle Royale drafts this week, next week you'll have access at the biggest boosted 100x player prop ever for Underdog Fantasy. So make sure you take advantage of that. Available in damn near every single state. I think that's all I got for you. I truly do mean this. I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. I am going to be live tonight to answer all your questions. Probably going to go watch the Texas Longhorns win this game though. So thank you so much. I truly do appreciate y'all. We are about 20 likes away from hitting 200 likes on the stream. If you want to go down there, drop that like. If not, all good. I'll see you in the live stream tonight and hope you have a great Saturday.